Everybody, welcome back. Today I'm doing a little side project here. This is something I've been doing basically since I started teaching. I've just a cool little project. It's a 3-piece puzzle. I've done this with 3D printers. I've done this with pretty much any material you can think of. And it's a great way to get kids started on various different things because it's got some good measuring in it. And it's also a great fidget toy for them. So it serves a lot of multiple purposes. I've used this for everything from teaching how to use basic hand tools right up to advanced manufacturing projects where students have had to, as groups, figure out how to turn this into a product that can be manufactured reliably with good accuracy. This one is only partially completed. The only thing that's missing on this is just doing some sanding to get the pen marks off of it and a good oil job to protect it from moisture. So I'm going to quickly walk you through how I do this thing. This set of plans here I have posted in the shared drive. You can find that in the comment section. Not the comment section, in the video description and on my main channel page. So these will be there for you. So basically what happens is, what I love about this project is it doesn't take a lot of material. All I've got here is just some regular yellow pine, nothing crazy. Or actually I think this is some white pine, we'll see. And what's great about it is they can mess up 1,000,000 times, and once they get it right, they get it right, and you haven't gone through a ton of material. I've got enough material to do this with just 2 1x10s, and that's been enough to create these with excess material for about 86 students this year. So all I do is I take my board, I plane it down. This is about 3/8 inch thick. I usually go a little bit oversized, that way there's some room for sanding, and that brings it down to its final size. And that's by 1 1/8 wide. Lengthwise doesn't really matter. So what I have the kids do is, depending on your situation, you can either have the kids cut out these patterns, which is what I've done here, or if you want to take it further and have them do some advanced measuring, I've got all the measuring done here on the set of plans, as well as picture directions on how to take them apart and put them back together. So, what I start with here is I always tell the kids to alternate. We're going to do a B, then an A, and then a B. And the reason I do that will be apparent later. It's not critical. If you don't do that, it's not going to prevent you from doing the project, but it makes your life a lot easier. So I trace these on. Okay, nothing crazy. Alright, so we're over here at the miter saw, and you can do this one of any number of ways, but this is a good way to teach kids how to start doing cross cuts. Just line it right up. Gets that all set, and we keep this as one big piece so that there is a way to hold on to this when we're using our other saws. So a couple things you can do here. I see these weren't put back the way that they were left. You can use coping saws if you don't have power equipment. Okay, just beware that the blades will get twisted. Okay, and this is the point where you could teach them to pop them in table clamps and start cutting different stuff. To save time, we're not going to do that. As for the 7th grade level, I teach them all the safety. So for this centerpiece, we're just going to drill a hole so we can feed the blade through. Alright, gives me space to put the blade through. Let's head over to the scroll saw. Okay, back at the scroll saw, that's why this nice piece comes into play. You can always make these pieces longer if you want to, but beware of how much material you can fit underneath. And then we'll just section everything out. That gets me the first pieces. What I do now, since the patterns usually end up a little smaller than the actual size, is we go right ahead and mark out the outer bounds with a piece of verified stock, and that lets me enlarge everything to the size it needs to be later. And it shows me how much is left to trim. Like so. So that does my two outers. Let me check for fit. They should be close. This one's a little loose, but probably still usable. I'm just doing these quick and dirty for the purpose of the video. And then for the last one, we're just going to feed the blade right through that hole we drilled. One thing that's nice about these pinned blades is they're strong enough that I can actually use the teeth to sort of grind off the edges rather than sanding. Helps out a little bit. Let me take that out of there. Check the fit. And that one's a little loose too, but like I said, I'm going fast and sloppy just to show the concept. And that's what's nice about this, is because it uses such a small amount of material, I can remake these as many times as I need to and not have to worry about material costs. So, start off with my A piece, slide in a B, and then the other B goes on top, and they lock together. All that's left at this point is just some light sanding to knock off the burrs, make everything smooth, and a light coat of, I use vegetable oil, but you can use any finish you want. Just to protect it from moisture, because if you get these right, you shouldn't be able to get them to fall apart on their own by shaking them. This one looks like it just barely passes the test. Not my finest work, but does the job. What you will find if you use this always turns out better with hardwoods, but it's good to do with pine just for the kids. What you'll find is if this absorbs moisture and you've got your tolerances right, it'll actually, when it absorbs moisture, these will enlarge enough that they might actually get slightly stuck. It's better to have them slightly tight than a little too loose, just because of the fact that once you've taken them apart and used them a couple times, they do tend to loosen up as you use them. But that's a general idea. Alright, so we got our fidget toy here. They smell great because it's fresh cut pine. They're just fun to manipulate, and if they want a little brain teaser, what's great is they take these, and even though it's only a 3-piece puzzle, a lot of them it'll take a little while to figure out how to get it together and apart, and then they take them home and they show their folks, and they stump their folks, which gives them a pretty good amount of pleasure too. I remember my second year of teaching, I believe I gave one of these to one of my 8th grade girls that was an honor student. I let her take one of my examples up to her other classes for the day, see if she could figure it out, before I taught them how to do the project. And it took her probably 7 or 8 periods throughout the day to actually figure out how to get it apart. So even though it's 3 pieces, it can be challenging, and the toughest part is remembering how to put it back together if you haven't done these enough times. So that's what we've got here. 3-piece puzzle. And you can check that link in the description if you want the link to the plans or anything like that.